Hello, this is Tanmay, and in this video, we will be discussing about the Chrome developer tools. And basically, to access them, either you can click on or you can just hit the F12 button on your keyboard, or you can right click on your website and you can click on this inspect option, or you can always access these three dots here on the top right, and here also you can go to more tools, and inside more tools you'll get the options of developer tools. So if we click on it, we are able to access the Chrome developer tools. Now these tools are there to help us with the entire structuring, the functionality, security, and performance of our website. So while development, or if we just want to play around with the website, or if there's an experiment that we want to conduct, then I think this is the best place to all these experiments to do all these experiments. So a very quick introduction to developer tools is basically we can just head to the element section. So in front of you, this is the entire hierarchy of your website. That means the body tag that we can see here. And inside that body tag, you can see that there's a lot of elements inside it. And like there's this button, there are a lot of images, iframe, sections. So we can basically just click on this hover option, and we can see how the elements are being arranged or how are they being displayed on our website. So particularly if we navigate down, we can see that the elements are arranged in a specific order, and all this order can be also seen in our developer tools. So if I show you a quick demonstration, if I click on this H2, then you'll see that I'm not only getting the exact H2, that is this here, but also I'm getting its respective styling as well. If I remove font size to 2, like I remove this styling, then you can see it diminishes in size. Also, for example, if I want to see how this button looks like, then you can see this is a button that is created with an anchor tag, and the styling is on the right here, and there are a couple of css that you can just play around. Supposingly I don't like the background color here, I want it to be red, so I can just make it dark, uh, make it red, or medium violet red. There are a lot of options that you can play around, and these changes are not saved until I'll just show you the method how you can actually save them to your local files as well. But right now they are just local to this console and they won't get saved. Moreover, there are other stylings that you can just play around, and bunch of other styling as well. Now this is some bootstrap styling that is being passed to us. So that's all about basically the elements and css. Like this is one of the most basic uses of developer tools, but there is more to it. So we'll one by one we'll be just looking at them. So if I first show you how actually elements on our website looks like, then this is the entire element hierarchy, and this is the styling that I showed you. Now whichever element you will click will be displayed here, and the the respective styling will be shown. Like right now we are seeing the about section detail box A, and there are other options here like computed. So if you want to see the margin, border padding and all, you can just look here, or if you want to see the layout, there is a bit more detail here. Then event listeners and DOM breakpoints. I'll explain you what exactly DOM breakpoints is in this video. Now moving ahead with the developer tools, I would like to show you some settings as well. So in this preferences of the settings, you can select the browser UI language. Right now the language I have set it to be default, but if you belong to some other nationality, or if you want to change it due to some other reasons, you can just go ahead and do that. It will give you more accessibility. Then this is theme. I'm using the system preference. That means whichever theme my system is using will also be used by the developer tools. Also the panel layout, color format, all these things you can just play around and customize according to your needs. Then there is workspace. Now, folder exclude pattern, we have seen that we are not going to load node modules, browser components, power components, and dev tools. We are going to exclude all these. And experiments. Now, if you want to conduct some experiments, as mentioned previously, then you can use it. You do it using the developer tools available. Like right now, we are enabling reporting for API panel in the application panel. And also we want to display more precise changes in the changes tab. So we have just selected these two options. And accordingly, you can select all these options if it is the need. Also, like there's an important option called allow extension to load custom style sheets. Right now we haven't checked this. Then there is library code, the devices. Then these are a set of devices that you want to test a certain website with. Right now, according to my needs, I am just testing my website on these selected website. But if you are making this website for a variety of websites, then it is suggested that you select all of them here. You can even add a custom device here if it is of a custom dimension. You can see Galaxy Tab S4, Kindle, HD, LG, Optimus, and all the popular handsets and smartphones are visible here. If you want to just select these emulated devices, what you can do in this drop down that is available here, you can just click on it and you can just select one of them. So if I say I want to view my website for iPhone 12 Pro, so this is how my website would look when somebody owning iPhone 12 Pro will open the website. So we can just get the look and feel of how exactly a website is looking on all the bunch of devices. If I select that how my website is going to look on an iPad, so this is the look and feel of the iPad website. Excuse me. And if I say we want to just view it for a custom responsiveness, then we can just select responsive section. And here we can just customize it according to our own pixel size. We can just make it small, or we can just make it big as per our choice. So this is how we are actually going to just resize our website for this thing. And there is other option called throttling. Now this is a very important option when we talk about throttling. So there are a lot of variety when we talk about the users that are going to use a particular online platform. And those users include various screen resolution as well as various connectivities. That means supposingly if a person is having a download speed of 1 kbps, very less download speed, and there is another person that is having a very high download speed, that means 1 gbps. So there can be a lot of profiles based on users where we can just mention that whatever the download and upload speed is and whatever the latency is when we talk about the time that is actually taken for the request to first reach the servers. So we can make various profiles based on various connectivities, various download speeds, and that we can use in throttling. Right now, I haven't applied any throttling to it. I'm saying that whatever the best connectivity my website is getting, it will function according to that. But as a developer, when we want to test the website for various users, we'll have to do the throttling part as well. And then there is a location setting here where we can just there are a lot of locations that are already added, and there are a lot of codes here that you can just see through. And then there are shortcuts. Now this is very useful for people that are not very much fond of using mouse as an input device. There are a couple of shortcuts that the developer tools are offering. Like if you want to start recording events, you can just hit Control E. You can, if you want to clear the console, you can just hit Control plus L. And in the first place, if you want to see the console, then it's Control plus backtick. Then a lot of options you can just hear, and also it gives you the option to edit. Like if I just want to maximize a drawer, I can just edit it according to my needs, however I am comfortable by while using the shortcuts. It will give me the option to customize. And if we talk about shortcuts, sometimes they come in really handy when we are working on very complex projects and on some experiments that we are currently working on. Then there is symbol server. We can pass on the Azure DevOps organization token here, and the personal access token as well needs to be passed here, and you can use it. Then after this, if I show you the console, so this is the place where all the messages passed on by our website, or any error message or any warnings can be displayed. Also, if I just clear this console, and if I, like, this is some place where you can write an entire JavaScript piece of code here, and you can just run it according to the website as well. So if I say I am going to create an array, and in that array I am going to pass some objects, and this is an object that has a roll number, and the roll number is 54. Let's take this random number, and I'll just copy this comma, paste it again. So I have kind of like made an array here, and I have just we'll just do one thing. We'll just not roll here. We'll just write some string here, that it gets more identifiable. This is some random string that I'm tracking, just for example. So if I just hit enter, you'll see the array will be created. So if I try to log, and if I try to just show you how our array looks like, then I can just simply log it into the console using this console.log function and passing the array here. And you can see all the objects inside the array that I created are coming up, and you can see them here as well. Also, there is another function that's kind of like very innovative. We can use the console.table function here, and inside, if we pass an array, let's see what happens. So you'll see, if you want to display your data in a more arranged manner, what you can do, you can just pass on the data into console.table array. So basically that will map your entire data onto a particular table, and this will give you more clarity when we are looking at some data. And moreover, it gives you more functionality as well, because not only is it logging the table, but also it's logging the array as well. So kind of like a very important tool for all the developers out there. And here you get an option of dynamically resizing the screen as well. You don't need to drag, or you don't need to select any other button. You can just resize a dimension according to the needs of the user. Now, there are a lot of other things in the tools here. We can just hide the console sidebar, or what you can do is you can just change the dock side. Like right now, I am saying that the dock is to the right, but you can change it to dock to the bottom. So if I say dock to the left, then it will get inverted, and it will just pass. It will be just passed on there, and I can just pop these things out into a full screen window if it is the case, or I can just simply dock it to the right because I am comfortable this way. But it can be customized according to one's needs. Then there is an option here called sources. Now this is a very important option here. So the entire all the files that your website is currently using, all the themes, all the phones, everything is being loaded here, and this will be in the form of a minified JS, but definitely you will be able to see it. Now here you can also select overrides. Right now, if I do make any changes in the page section, these won't be reflected back into your folder. But if you really want to experiment with your website, at the same place you also want to edit your local folder for the same, then you can add that folder to this workspace. So once I'll do that, my website folder will be loaded here, and all the files that are here will be shown here, and all the changes that I now do to the file system will also be reflected back to my local files. Then there is a concept called overrides. Supposingly we want to make some changes to our website, but we want that after on we are given the option to merge those changes. That means those changes are not automatically overwritten, they are just there, and we'll merge them according to our needs. So then there is an option called override. We can use this. Again, we'll have to select the folder to override. Then there is also a function, an option called snippets, where we can create the script snippets if it is the case. Then there are other options here you can explore. Talking about these files, so these are basically all the JavaScript files that are actually just loading onto the background and functioning. So all these JavaScript pieces of code are giving the functionality to the website. This website is able to function because the JavaScript is working in the background for the same. Then we can talk about the security of the website. So in this security, basically it tells us about whether a website is secure or not. So since the website that I'm demoing right now is a very secure website because I have a valid SSL certificate, and also the protocol that you can see here is HTTPS, and you can also have the option of viewing the certificate. So using this option, you can just come to know whether a particular website is secure, or what is its certificate, or what is its status when it comes to whether it's secure or not. A lot of websites use HTTP only and not HTTPS. So these websites are not very secure, and you should try to stay away from them. Then there is another option here that we have called network. So network is basically a place, like if I refresh this website, you'll see there will be a lot of entries happening here in a lot of time. And these entries are nothing but all the requests that are being passed by our websites to any kind of server out there. So if I expand one particular request, this random request I have chosen, then there is a lot of options here. First of all, we get the headers. So in the headers, we are sending some information like the request URL, the request method, status code is the value that is being returned, and the remote address. So this is for headers. Then there is an option called payload. So payload is nothing but the data that is being sent by the client to the server, and once the data is being sent to the server, it just processes it and sends us the response back. And then there is another option called preview. So if we just select this preview button, you will be able to, right now you'll be able to see a blank because there is nothing much to preview, because the website is not returning something of an HTML sort. Then there is response initiator. You can even just know the exact timing that this particular web request took. That means waiting for the server response, it waited for 95 milliseconds, and then all these particular metrics can also be viewed. Also, you can filter it out according to JavaScript and CSS, IMG, all these things you can just filter out. Now this was for network. Then we can just go to the last part, that is the lighthouse. So lighthouse is nothing but a kind of a platform that the Chrome DevTools is providing you, and using this you can analyze your website using the same. Supposedly I have opened this particular page, and